Hey guys, a little different tonight. I'm having some issues with my camera, so I'm using my laptop. So we're gonna see how well this is gonna do. But tonight we are going to make, let me see if I can, well, I put this together and I know it looks like a hot mess. And I've done this one. Okay. And this one. Well, I was trying to. Okay. But then if you cut it across like this, you've got, let me find my little, this is a text block that I just haven't used in anything yet, but I thought it would be good for purposes to show you. You've got a side envelope. Now obviously I wouldn't put this onto this page, but you can see where I'm going with this. It's a nice little side envelope, instantaneous side envelope. On these, if there wasn't, if everything went the right side, it's a nice little pocket. Instantaneous pockets, okay? This one might actually look a little better on here. I'm sliding it inside. I can just put it right here. So they're pretty, I think they're pretty awesome, and it's just using scraps. And let's see, what else you're going to need. You're going to need scraps, paper, trims, materials, ribbons, you name it. Maybe some Fabri-Tac, or a good Aleene's Quick Dry is not as fast drying as Fabri-Tac, but it will do the trick, holding on to the ribbons and such like that. I have my little basket. I've also got some little bits and pieces of some interesting papers that I've pulled out. These are mainly all handmade papers. So they're really pretty. So I've got a bit of those. And then I've got a bunch of different material to pull from. These are just snippets from different projects that pretty much that my mom has done in the past. And then I've got laces and ribbons, eyelet trims, table runner. I think this was a part of a table runner. So you know, got lots of goodies. And then I've also got some material here. Now this is definitely textured, but like on this one, I did some stamping. So, and I need to put something down across her here so she doesn't look like she's just floating. But, so I did some stamping on there as well. So that's what we're going to do today. And everything I've started with is just, I have so many of these envelopes. I don't think, you know, odd sizes, shapes, colors, you name it. That's what these are. These are just envelopes. I did an old white one, an old pink one. What is this one? You know, this is an old white one. They're not A2 size, which is really, if I make a card, that's pretty much the only card size I make. Or, you know, once in a while I make those 5x7s or 8.5 by 11s, but all these weird ones, it's like I'm trying to think of things to do to get rid of them. So this is it. So I am just going to kind of haphazardly get started here. I've got no plan in place, which I usually don't do because it makes for the videos to be long and boring. And I see I'm going to have to slide down here a little bit so you can kind of follow. Hopefully you guys will be able to uh, to do things. Now, before you get started on this I'm thinking is going to be a vertical pocket. This one I am going to cut diagonally, and this one I think is going to be a horizontal pocket. So that is the direction that I want all of my things to go on. Just so you think about it, let me find these two pieces. There really wasn't anything directional in this one, so you didn't really have to think on it very much. But like this one, I know that I'm going to cut this one across, so the words are facing this direction, so that when I cut it across, they will be going in the correct direction. And these words are going the same direction as the face on the man. However, it doesn't really matter, because you can have upside down, sideways, squirrely, or anything you want, because there's really no rules. But just to, kind of think about it. I don't have anything, like I said, I've got nothing planned, just kind of pulling things out, getting starts on something. Maybe that. I got some red stuff here, some red lace, maybe on this one. See, it's still not, if you can see what I've got going on there. Just if it falls out of the box, let's do something with it. Okay, and maybe that there, and that there. I have to use tidbits and whatnots and so ons and so forths. That's a pretty bright piece, isn't it? I'll try and put some of that on there. No. No. Let's see, where's that paper? Let's see what we got going for paper here. Okay. Let's see. Maybe maybe that there, that there, maybe that piece there. That'll work. And let's see, do I have anything on here that I could stamp on? Let's see. I could stamp on this piece here, so that's something I can stamp on. And I could stamp on this little piece here. Using Stays On, it'll work just fine. Let's see what else I've got. I like to have lots of little snippets and doodads, and I might not use everything, but it's just nice to have this is a yellow and a red, nothing yellow there. See, this is an old shirt collar. I'm sorry, I don't throw much away. I do not throw much away. Not excited about that. A little bit of green trim. How about there? Let's see. This color. No. Okay. I don't know what all of that's going to be, but we'll see. Let's start with this long one, and we can add to it as we need to. Okay. So, I am going to have it this way. Not that it makes a huge hill of beans, but let's see. Cover a corner. and then kind of start from there. See, I thought I might stamp on this. So, and I've got some squirrely bird. See, this could go right up the center of this. Build in that color. This would be, see, and I'm not worried too much about covering all of the white at this point. I'm just trying to see where I'm at here. Let me cut this little white trim off, and believe me, I will use that some other place. Okay. And I don't want to fill this up so much in one spot, so I'm going to shorten that up. Got some red paper. Let's do that this way. Do that that way. It's beautiful. This is antique lace, by the way. Some definite antique, nice lace. There's that. And let's do that there. Some red. Come on, get off there. Okay, let's see. My new toy that I have come home with is this metallic gilding polish. And so what I am going to do, one thing I haven't figured out is how to get these things off. Isn't that funny? I want to use this, but I don't know how to get this off. And as far as I can tell, there's no instructions. Let's see. Just release the integral sponge by holding the top on the pot between finger and thumb and pull sideways. Oh, okay, that works. Woo! Okay, and then we're going to get into this. Ooh! Ew! I'm making a mess. And it dries almost instantaneously. I just want to add a little bit. I don't really want to get it all over my surface, however. I just want to add a little bit to one end. Let's see. Little piece of white paper here. And there we go. Okay, and that is almost dry. And then we're just I'm gonna clean this off around the lid here. Don't want to make a mess. It was a lot softer than I thought it was going to be. When I used somebody else's, how I figured I came across these was somebody brought it to one of my little clubs that I'm in. It seemed like it was much more solid. Okay, so there's that. Alright, so I get to play with one of my new toys. And hers was purple, and it was absolutely gorgeous. But I don't do much with purple. Okay, so let me start gluing, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. And I'm going to do this first one, and then I'll do the rest of these and come back and show you what I ended up doing. But I even cut into this when I was cutting at some point, doing something I don't rightly remember. All right. Put a line right across here. And we're going to put this lace down. Good. And I'm going to glue down. Now, a lot of this will have pieces and parts over some of the different edges. So main thing is just to make sure that it's, you know, somewhat glued down fairly solidly. And you just want to cover up as much. Keep it nice and flat. Let's see, where was that paper? Let me get this. I don't know why I keep sticking that bottle up right side up. Okay. I'm going to slide this right up underneath here. There we go. Good. And I can put this one down here. Okay. This one down here. I need some lace. It's going to go across this. There we go. Kind of build up. Let's kind of set it down, flip it back, and add some glue into some areas. And just don't tap it down really heavily. Just kind of finger pat it just a little bit, or you end up with a ton of stuff. Let's see. Because again, most of it is going to get covered up. Okay, and I've pretty much got this. And I do like to have some of it stick over the sides, so that if I am working on a book where I'm keeping it kind of messy and not, you know, not very trim and perfect, that then these will go right along with how everything else is put together. And if I am doing something that is very very trimmed up and perfect, then I will also have the option of you know, of taking something and trimming all around the edges. Of course, I wouldn't take my vintage lace off of there, but now I think I am going to stamp something on this. Let me just find something. Let's see, what is this? Bird? Yeah, this is a background stamp. I'm just gonna, this is from Impression Obsession, and I'm just gonna ink up with some black Stays On, just a little section here, and I think this little section. Oh, yeah, sorry. Take the plastic off. It's like, why is nothing coming on there? Okay. Now let me just take this and stamp on it and put paper. Okay. And isn't that beautiful? Just a nice little touch. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to cut the majority of this out. And I'm going to put that right there. With love, all things are possible. Isn't that neat? I think that's wonderful. All right, so now we're going to stick this on. And, okay, I think we're going to stick this on too. And again, I mean, you guys have seen, I'm really not taking a whole lot of time doing this. I promise you, I really haven't put any forethought to this other than, you know, just making sure I had enough materials and stuff to work with. Okay. And then if there's ever anything that you do that you don't like, just pull it back off, cut that part off. These are just, you know, tidbits of things that you had left over from other projects that you possibly would have thrown away. Okay, and there you go. Let me get my book back. Now obviously it would be on a larger page than this, but you can imagine it being on a page, and this is a vertical pocket. So there you go. You know, and obviously you're going to fit it with the look of whatever your projects are, but I just thought I'd grab a few things and show you, you know, and you can still mess around with this, which I might do, but I just I'm going to probably add a few more things to this, do these other two, and I'll be back and show you what I came up with. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, got a journal that I'm making, and it was through Junk Journal Junkies. I don't do much with them because I'm always trying to get other things done, but this one kind of stuck out in my mind. It was a use your stash, so it's just things that you have in your stash. And you know, I love to use up my stash, so I thought that's a good one. So I went through all of my papers and I pulled out a bunch, and as you can see, it's quite a palette here. This was kind of my inspiration piece, and I've got lots of different colors to, you know, out of all of this, I've got a lot of different colors to choose from, and it's the older papers, which is what I'm really trying to, you know, kind of sift through and utilize, but in a good way. So these are all the leftovers from the paper. I've already got my pages cut and figured out, and they're in their signatures. So now I'm just getting ready to, and I've colored all of them. I have used Faded Jeans Distress ink on all of the edges, but now I'm going to start doing embellishing and things like that. But I just kind of wanted to let you see before I started cutting these up for pockets and stuff that there's quite a bit. Some of these papers were actually given to me by, I think it's Artsy Girl on YouTube. She had sent me some pieces and things to try and use up. So I know this one and this one were from her, and I think there's a couple others, but yeah, so she'll be glad to see some of that being used up. Hopefully you're watching. There's the back side of it. So it's really a beautiful selection, I think, of papers that goes really well with this. Okay. Alright, so I will stop in from time to time and show you the progress. I'm going to try and get this done so I'll have it ready for when it's time to do the trade-ins. But I got these pieces of paper from Cuttings, a few that before I changed my mind on how I was cutting the paper, I had a few smaller ones. Then I figured out if I cut the paper a little differently, I got a larger piece. So better to use stuff with. So I have a few of these, but mainly it's going to be this, and then these are what's left from cutting the book. This is a 5 by 7 size, and I'm not sure, I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for cover yet. But I'm going to get started and do some decorating on these, and like I said, I'll stop in from time to time and let you see what I'm doing. Alright, see you guys. Bye! Okay, so I added a few more things to this one, and again, that's going to be my vertical pocket. I took some of the gold pen that I had and accented this a little bit more. This is actually off of a ribbon that had wire in it, and I wanted to cut off a whole section on both sides, and this was the bit that had the wire in it, and I just stuck it in my box figuring, oh, I'll find something to do with it. I'm horrible. And I got a button on there. You can go crazy with these things. Now here's this one. Now this is the one that I'm going to cut vertically, and I did this way. Both of them are in the same, facing the same direction, I guess. And so I'm going to show you how it really does not make a huge difference when you cut these. So not exactly straight, but again, that doesn't even make any difference. But this is upside down, but it doesn't really matter, and it looks like a totally different pocket than this one. This has got your two little people kind of as your accent mark. Now you may have to go back and make sure that all of these little bits and pieces are glued down, but using the same materials, but it ends up being two different looks. Okay, and then this one is this pocket, a horizontal pocket. This was a big piece of white eyelet lace, and I just used my my sprays and sprayed it. I might go back once it dries and do some more, but it's almost dry. But a little bit of the material, and I stamped on that, a little bit of lace. This is paper, my homemade paper. I didn't do it. It's handmade. I shouldn't say homemade. Handmade paper, not by me. A little bit of lace that I had, and then a piece of material here. So I hope, a little button, I'm getting rid of, I think this is the most buttons I've used in a long time. So I hope you guys get something out of this that that you might think is, wow, I need to really try that. And let me show you this one. I'm going to cut this one stem to stern. I think I'll do it this way, it's easier. Well, that wasn't very straight. Hold on. That's okay. So here you have this piece with the guy on there. And then you have this piece. And you can't tell that that was a forehead of a man. So it's a pretty cool pocket though. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I love bringing it to you. And I don't know, I might do some of these and put them on my Etsy. And I've definitely got some of them for some journals that are coming up. So I'll have some of my stuff already done. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. And sorry about this way of filming right now, but it's the best I got. Okay guys, bye.